This was definitely the toughest list to compile in a few years, and I think it's a great sign that it was tougher for me to compile the best list versus the worst list because there has been such impressive work across languages. I think Tamil and Malayalam cinema have done the best work content wise, with Hindi cinema coming a far third. I think Telugu cinema is going to have a great year next year because the lineup looks amazing. So let's get to it. The top 10 best movies according to me in 2023, and you also do chime in the comments below. Let's stay civil and discuss rather than go at each other's throats. Number 10 goes to Maaveeran. This Tamil film starring Shiva Karthikeyan and directed by Madon Ashwin has to be the most unique take on the superhero genre that I have seen from Indian cinema. The creation of a superhero that occupies a column on a daily newspaper, the antithesis of Satya's personality, assumes to be the guiding light in his life by immersing himself with the ink that created the brave warrior in the first place. A fabulous idea that became such an enjoyable and creative commercial flick, integrating some of the most complex yet innovative action set pieces as Vijay Sethupathiy's voice advises Satya on every trivial and significant matter along this journey. Mishkin as the antagonist, a corrupt politician, acts as a worthy force to be reckoned with, and Satya's evolution of annoyance with the voice to fully embracing the onslaught of violence formulated to become one of the most enjoyable big screen experiences this year. I have grown more fond of Shiva Karthikeyan's choices as an actor in the last few years and honestly cannot wait for how Ireland shapes up next year. Number 9 goes to Chitta. One of the most heartbreaking movies for me this year was the Siddharth starrer Chitta, directed by S.U. Arun Kumar. A film based on the unbreakable bond between an uncle and niece and the horrific news of an abduction that gets the most horrible assumptions of what may have happened come flashing in front of people's eyes. A film backed by Siddharth as a producer sheds light on such important subjects: consent, minors and the concept of good touch and bad touch, the male savior complex that consumes most leads in the same narrative, the persistence required in the quest for justice, and the frustrating red tape that most have to deal with officials. Siddharth puts forth a heartbreaking performance, assisted brilliantly by Nimisha Sajayan. The child actors Sahasra Shri and Afia Tasneem will organically generate a familial bond within you as a viewer. I hope Siddharth's creative choices in the future only provide for such compelling and powerful films. Number 8 goes to Sapta Sagardaache Ello. I am compiling both Side A and Side B in the list because I think the story of Manu and Priya only gets closure, no matter how heartbreaking it might be, with the conclusion of Side B. Hemant Rao and his craft absolutely won me over with this romantic saga. The dedication of Rakshit Shetty for the character and craft made me respect him as an artist tenfold. Rukmini Vasant and her ability as an actor at such a nascent stage is even more impressive. The constant tussle between fiction and reality, what could have been versus what is where Hemant Rao shines as a director. I could not help but be in an absolutely contemplative state at the end of Side B, which I can't wait for you to see if you haven't already in theaters. This will surely go down, in my opinion, as one of the best executed romantic tragedies. Number 7 goes to Jigarthanda Double X. Karthik Subbaraj is one of my favorite creators from Tamil cinema. Even movies that are usually tagged from his filmography as indulgent, stylized and lacking heart, there is a love for the craft that is so abundantly clear in his frames that make me respect him as a creator tenfold. With Jigarthanda Double X having the monumental task to provide a more impactful experience than the first brilliant film, I think Karthik went leaps and bounds ahead of what was expected from him. Not only does the film provide exceptional performances by S.J. Surya and Raghava Lawrence, but Karthik, through this similar tale of a gangster and a movie being shot based on his aura and journey, provided not only an homage to world cinema, but provided his most political film. The last 30 minutes of this movie are nothing short of a masterpiece, especially setting in stone on what Karthik wanted to convey. I haven't regretted not catching films in theaters that often, but this was definitely one such instance. Number 6 goes to Sirf Ek Banda Kafi Hai. I remember the understated release for Bandaa. Many people dismissed it as a regular courtroom drama where of course Manoj Bajpayee would shine, but people will casually move on to the next movie title. But this film caused so many waves that the makers were compelled to opt for a theatrical release after some days of its digital run, with great sensitivity exploring the case of sexual assault against a minor and the protective layer of religion under which godmen take advantage of the vulnerable, went on to become become such an emotionally engaging tale, spearheaded brilliantly by Manoj Bajpayee. I still think about his monologue in the film and the sheer anger and frustration that consumes him, on the audacity of a man to think that he can go scot-free after committing such vile acts. This one was truly special this year from Hindi cinema. Number 5 goes to 12th Fail. Never have I rooted more for a Hindi film actor than Vikrant Massey. I still remember talking in 2017 about talents that will cause waves in the future years to come, and this talent was one of them. Vikrant in a Viduthalai Chopra film, a tale on the real-life struggle of IPS officer Manoj Kumar Sharma, turned out to become one of the most inspirational tales of the year. What's even more gratifying is that the venture became a financial success, solidifying the belief that the Indian audience are keen on promoting such cinema. I cannot rave enough about the level of detailing that Viduthalai Chopra executed for the film. The coaching centers, the atmosphere within and outside the classroom, the class differences among the student groups, the romance that brews and flowers, the complexity of acing the competitive exams, it all became such a beautiful concoction, really becoming the underdog story for the ages. Number 4 goes to Kaal The Core. What a splendid year Mammootty has had this year. A variety of stories, some complex, some exhilarating, but the one film that really left a lasting impression on me, making me think about the fearless attitude of a man and an artist at the age of 72, was with what he executed with Geo Baby in Kaal The Core. A divorce case where a wife wants to separate from the husband on grounds of him being gay causes a stir not only in his life but for those around him. A heartbreaking tale told with such subtlety, the director accurately represents the conservative mindset of most and the vitriol one receives for something that is simply not welcome or understood. A man of a few words, Mammootty's character and his slow unraveling that makes him free produces some of the most powerful scenes shared with his father and wife, absolutely making me break down and commend the vision of not only the director, but Mamuka, who backs such a project as a producer as well. Number 3 goes to 2018. Released at a time where the political environment was extremely toxic regarding the state of Kerala, trying everything in their might to portray it to be stuck in the dark ages, comes a movie which provides the state to be more than just being embroiled in petty religious politics. Dealing with the tragic 2018 floods, the film is nothing short of a masterclass, not only in terms of storytelling but technical prowess. A screenplay so engaging that one can't help but be nervous at the several instances showcased. What really stands out, and this essentially becomes the core essence of the film, is the willingness of the people of the state to contribute in their own way to help, showcasing the human spirit to work together and the belief that no tragedy is strong enough to break their prevailing tendencies. I cannot commend the creators and especially director Jude Anthony Joseph enough of telling this exceptional story of human perseverance and the unity of a state that worked hand in hand with one another, knowing very well that there is no force that can break their spirit. I will forever be a Tovino fan for what he did on and off camera regarding this film and what it focused on. Number 2 goes to Iratta. A film that failed at the box office but I feel like is nothing short of a masterpiece is the Malayalam movie titled Iratta starring Jojo George. The simple case of a policeman being shot in a police station is told in such a meticulous fashion that I just marveled at the economical production and inventive screenplay of the film. The movie unfolds as the suspected individuals are hauled up together and questioned, trying to understand each one's possible motive to kill the man, each policeman having some scarred history with the deceased. How this ties into a lead actor being one of the two twins is very interestingly woven. The brilliant nature of the film is that it makes you believe that there is no sense of reprieve for a character so despicable, but it always pulls you back somehow with its layered writing. The climax and how exceptionally it has tied together a sense of identity and how it becomes one's life will really make your jaw drop. Before I go to number 1, here are some honorable mentions.
आप अपने बच्चे को कहां देखना चाहती हैं? पुनर्ज्ञानी लोगों की भीड़ में जो आपके पास आते हैं, या पढ़े लिखे शिक्षित काम शास्त्र के जानकार?
सब याद तो रखेंगे ना एक दूसरे को.
Number 1 of course goes to Rocky और रानी की प्रेम कहानी, one of the most exceptional films that I feel absolutely blew it out of the park. Chill. I had to prank you just a bit, no? Let's get to the regular video. Calm down. Number 1 goes to Viduthalai Part 1. If there is one creator in Indian cinema who always brings something compelling and hard-hitting regarding the socio-political climate in India, it is Mairan. A case of an actor like Suri working for more than 20 years in the film industry, mostly playing characters who are of comedic relief or the hero's best friend. Finally being given a chance to portray a dramatic role was even more exciting. The film focusing on a police constable, Kumarasaran, who gets recruited in the mountain village in 1987, where the police is in constant conflict with a rebel group termed as the People's Army. While his portfolio is of a driver providing food for the policemen, Operation Ghost Hunt is intended to catch or kill the leader of the People's Army, Perumal, played by Vijay Sethupathi. Suri is a revelation in this film. You immediately connect with his innocence and naivety, the organic need to help those in need. He's righteous, so much so that he stands by his beliefs and actions, even if it means coming at crossroads with his superiors, and his progression in acknowledging the system and its problems, and how its only solution may be to take charge, really accounts for an exceptional and powerful tale. The socio-political commentary by Mairan is fascinating because his film speaks about the positioning of the government, its convenience with the news and how they're portrayed, the low pecking order in which the locals are for those in positions of power, the anger and resentment of both sides, of the police of the lives they lost in crossfires, and the locals for the mistreatment and abuse caused for no fault of theirs. The abuse of power becomes horrifying to the point where I had to look away in certain sequences. How humans reach a point where it becomes justified in their mind to treat others like wild animals. It's hard-hitting, brilliantly executed, and makes me even more excited of what part 2 will unfold. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what are your best films of 2023. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.